Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all having a great day. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I don't know if we're going to get rain today or not. They always say so, and then sometimes we get it and sometimes we don't. But we'll see. But I'm excited to share my idea with you today. I think it's a really cute card, and I have some tips and tricks. So you're going to look at it and go, no. I've got tips and tricks. We'll get there. Remember, step by step. You can do this. Let's see, I'm going to get to play all weekend. I have no plans. So I'm going to, other than going to the grocery store after this, have to get some lunch things and some food for dinners because I've used up everything in my freezer. So I want to pick up some items to have for lunch and dinner, and then I'm going to play all day. I worked on cards yesterday for my blog, and I've got a bunch done. And then I have some other projects I want to work on. I have my newsletter set ready to go today, so I'm glad about that. Let me see, what else do I need to do? I don't know if there's anything else I need to do. I had some projects I had to get done, and I can cross them off my list, and we'll see how it goes. I see somebody's here, but I don't know who because it didn't show up. It says there are 2 people here. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I usually give it about 5 minutes because some people, I know I don't pop up in the news feed. Hey, Kim, right away. So I have to wait, and so people can get in and see what's going on. So I'll just chit chat a little bit. I hope everybody's having a great day. And don't forget, if you ordered, yes, you made it. If you ordered last month, use those coupons. Don't miss out on those coupons so that you have them. Oh, thanks for the heart. I like that. Don't lose those coupons. And you can use more than one coupon with your card. Or with your order. So use those coupons. How many of you love sunflowers? They're gorgeous. And did you know, and I did not know this, hi Jonia, I didn't know this, but sunflowers aren't always the real tall ones. They have shorter ones, and they have other colors besides the yellow and the brown. And so I'm the kind of person that when I do a flower, I want to see every option available to me color-wise. Because I don't know about you, but yellow and brown sunflowers are gorgeous, but how many times can you stamp them? So today's sample, I used a different color. They're in your email, Lynn. There's an Echo. Oh, Wilmington. Hey, Jonia, we're not too far away. 2 hours. I'm in New Bern. So I always go looking for other colors. Who wants to see yellow and brown sunflowers over and over and over again? Hi, Barb. So I use different ones, different colors. And like I said, today's samples were done with pumpkin pie and old olive. But I'm going to do one today with rich raspberry, blackberry bliss, and garden green. So some different colors. I wanted to show you different colors and see what kind of give you some inspiration, so to speak. All right, do you guys all have your favorite drink? I have mine, and I'm going to get ready and take one more sip, put it down, because we're going to turn this around. I have a lot to share with you and a lot of tips for when you're doing this. So let me get ready and turn this around. Hey, Tina, glad you made it in. All right, so let me cover you up and flip you around. All right, and I'm going to turn on my other light so that we have plenty of, and I got to get this straight. I'm going to pull it down just slightly. You can see all my messy desk. Don't you love it? Hey, Linda. Oh, Lynn, there are so many colors for sunflowers. Kim, go out and come back in and see if you still have the echo. It may just be your connection. All right, I'm going to work on getting this a little bit straighter so that you don't go crazy with that background. Okay, I think I got it pretty good. All right, off just slightly. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, so here's the one I did with the pumpkin pie. And there is an orangey looking one. So the closest I could find was the pumpkin pie. So I did that one with the pumpkin pie. And this is the first card we're going to make. This is a clean and simple card. And I created a mask with my hint, so I'll tell you all about it. Now, for my card, for this card, I am using the large sunflower and the large leaf, and then the thanks a bunch down at the bottom. I needed some more thank you cards. So, all you need for this first one, yay, Kim, sometimes it's just a bad connection, is your, and I don't have measurements, sorry. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Is a piece of Whisper White, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You're gonna take your large sunflower, and remember, I'm not using the same colors today, so I'm gonna ink this one up with Rich Razzleberry. I saw one online, and about the only way I could do it, oh my God, it was so gorgeous, and that's why I chose these colors today. So I'm inking this up with the Rich Razzleberry. Oops, I got a spot I missed. I gotta kind of look at the side. I'm thinking my pad might be a little off in one area. And then for this one, hey Renee, with this one, the center of this was a darker color. So I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to sponge on my color in the center right over top of this. And I'm hitting the center, but I'm going out just slightly. And I'm going to go back to that center. All right, so I've got that. All right, now you guys all know that when you look at this, these 3 leaves here, that's kind of the bottom. So I'm going to stamp it with those leaves at the bottom. I'm going to open this up so that it doesn't pop up on me. And I'm going to stamp it, and it's on my block this way. That's why I'm stamping it this way. Right about there. I have to make sure I press in the center. I have a spot in the center. Doesn't want to stamp. There it is. And now we're going to add our leaves. And remember I told you about the the repositionable labels you can get? I created this using those labels. These 3 petals here kind of curl up, especially you can see it more if you go this way. See how they curl up? And I'm going to turn it sideways because it'll be easier. Find the 3 petals on your mask that curl up and match it up and put it down because we're going to add our leaves. Put it down on top. So now I have my leaves or my mask on, and I can add my leaves. And it won't get on my cardstock. I like this better than Post-it notes because the Post-it notes to me, after inking for a while, it kind of goes through, and if you're not paying attention, you can actually lose your it would bleed through to the back. And I found that that happened. So I switched to this and I haven't had any trouble. The only thing you need to do is when you take this off, be very careful. You can't pull it off quickly because you'll rip your leaves. So I kind of get it started and then I carefully go around and pick up my edges when I get to a spot. It seems to happen when the mask goes, or the stamp goes way inside. Once you get a lot of it off, it comes off fairly easy. And I'm going to set that aside because I'm going to use it again. And there I have it. Now I have to tell you, I have to be very careful. My Blackberry Bliss, as you can see, I have some spots on there. It doesn't dry right away. So if I was doing this by myself, I would have hit it with the heat tool and dried it some. So I'm just going to be really, really careful. I'm going to pull in a scratch paper here because I need to see. Okay. All right, and I'm going to stamp my bottom. Again, I'm going to open this up. And remember, if this happens to you, oops, is that straight? Make sure it's straight. Okay. If it happens to you that you get marks like that, that's just an opportunity to embellish. Throw a rhinestone on top or a sequin, no one will ever know. So there's the clean and simple card. All right. Great card to use, to have when you need something quick and easy. But suppose you want to step it up. So that's what we're going to do with this card. We're going to step it up. So for this one, you need your card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 with Whisper White. And then you need a Whisper White layer that's 4 1/4 by 5.5. You want it the same size as your card base. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to set that one there. All right. Actually, what I'm going to do is move this one out of the way and use, ooh, I've got ink on there. Let me get that off. I'll have to, now everything's falling down on me. I'll have to put that on the back. There must have been ink on there for some reason. I don't know how. All right, so there's our card base. All right, now I know I score it and then I open it up and you're all saying, why do you do that? But it's just me. Now, and I forgot to grab water, so I'm just going to use a towel and get as much off as I can. Before you go to this card, you need to clean this off because if not, you're going to contaminate your ink pad because the center of this, remember, we used Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to then go back to my Rich Razzleberry and I'm going to ink this up. So what do you think of that other color, guys? Would you have ever expected a sunflower in that color? I'm going to take and I'm going to add some of the Blackberry Bliss around it. And if this color is too dark for you, stamp it off and then stamp it on your card base and it'll come out a little bit lighter. But it doesn't bother me. All right, I'm going to put those at the bottom, so I'm stamping cockeyed. All right, I'm going to go up here. Now with this one, you can't go too high up because you want quite a bit of space up there. I'm going to make sure that that spot, yeah, I got that one spot in there. And maybe it was maybe it was operator error the first time I stamped it. All right, so I've got that. Make sure I don't have any ink on my hands. I'm going to use my mask and we're going to take those 3 spots that curl up and match them up. And I'm going to put this down like so. And the first thing I'm going to take and do is I'm going to take my leaf And I'm going to stamp my leaves up here. Oh, I put in the wrong color. Darn, darn, darn. I was wondering why that was so dark. Okay. Well, all right, let's try this again. Oh, I have ink on my hand. How did I do that? All right, we'll just have a Blackberry Bliss leaf there. Don't do what I did. All right, and I'm going to put that one there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blending tool, and I'm going to sponge around the edges. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there is some sponging so that it's not white. All right, come on. Might take a while to get the ink on there. All right, and I'm just going to add some color so that it's not, it kind of sets itself, dead leaf. I love it, Linda. Thank you for the laugh. That definitely deserves some hearts. All right, so this will just kind of set it off from that panel that you're putting on the front. All right, and I am using, I'm starting in and going out to avoid blotches, because if you don't, you get blotches. And I had that on the other one that I did. I'm going out quite a ways, only because I don't want it to show when I add. I'm going to try this, see if I can get more on there. When I add that panel on the top, I don't want white showing. So I'm going out quite a ways. And that's why you use a panel that's the same size, because then it doesn't matter. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna almost done, but I'm gonna show you a trick for how to do that. And I'm just gonna leave that like that in case I need to add some more. And you're thinking, well, how do you get this thing lined up? Believe me, I tried everything, and this is what worked. I took my circle, and see, that's not in the center. It should be over more, but that's okay. I took my circle, and that's from the layering circles dies, and it's the largest one. All right, so I took my circle, and I put a piece of painter's tape on the back, like I was going to stick it down, but I flipped it over so that the cutting side is up. All right, and I kind of centered it. Then I took this paper and I lined it up with the edges in the bottom so that it was even, and then I pressed it down and made sure that, all right, made sure that that tape stuck. I had a piece flipped up. And this is how I'm going to run it through the Big Shot and cut it. So let me do that. And then we'll have our piece ready to go. And I have some other hints for you about how to add this on, because this piece is actually popped up. All right, so there's my piece. And it's got sparkles all over it. Ooh, thanks, Linda. All right, flip it. No? It's off a little, but that's okay. You know, this one is off too. It just has it this way. Now, before you take that mask off, go back in with your leaves and kind of stamp your leaves in the same spot so that you have your leaves on your layer. I have ink all over me. All right. now we're going to take and we're going to very carefully remove our mask. This is the hardest part because I'm not patient and I end up ripping it. And after a while it does rip and you just stamp and cut another one. But I used this one to make 2 cards yesterday, maybe even 3, I don't know. And I'm going to use it today to make cards with it. And you can't do that with a Post-it note. It does not last. So just be careful when you take it off, because if you go too fast, you'll rip it. So there we have our image. And now we need to add our front. All right. So what I did was I just put my hand, oh my gosh, I'm a mess this morning. I'm putting my hand in my ink. I'm going to add some dimensionals around my card, and then we're going to take strips and go around the center circle to keep it popped up. So I am going to do this all the way around, and by adding that green as a background, if it shows through, it's okay. It doesn't matter. All right, now, you guys know when you use these things, you always end up with little tiny strips at the end. Well, save those strips, because this is when we're going to use them. And I found the best way to do this was I would take a strip, whoops, and cut it into like 3 pieces. And this we're going to put around the edge. And you don't want it too long because it doesn't lay. I may need more. But I have a whole container over here of pieces that I use. All right, I'm moving you because you're going to end up in the ink and I'm going to be mad then. All right, so there's that. And I'm just going to add these pieces all the way around. And I am leaving a little bit of space in between. The hardest part is this one. I'd cut this strip, I'd cut one of these in half. Like if you have stems on flowers, cut those babies in half and use them. All right, I'm going to go all the way around, and even though I've got one there, I'm still going to put it, because you don't want this center to collapse on you, and that can happen in the mail, and then you got a mess. When the recipient opens it, it's all crumpled up and everything else. All right, so I'm going to add this. I got to get another piece. Oh, I've got one here that I had used. The back came off and I just stuck it there. Let me see. Here's one. I don't use those pieces. I put them back in and use them when I need bigger pieces. So I'm going to cut this. All right. Okay. So there's that one. And then I'm going to use another one. Oh, sometimes getting the backs of them off is more challenging than anything else. And I've got one more piece that I'm going to stick right there. And then I'm going to take all these backs off. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, oh, there's a piece I can save. All right. So I've got those on there. Now I'm going to pull out my pokey tool. And I'm going to go to town with my backs. And I'm going to pull my trash can over here so I can put these pieces in the trash can. I know some people just let them fly. I've watched people do face videos and they just sweep it off, and I'm going, that's going in the floor. You got to pick those up. Unless you've got somebody that'll do it for you. Not me. So I just pick them up. Now when you get to these, I found I couldn't push down and get it up, but I could take the end, pull it up, and rip it off. And it worked really well. Of course, you've got to get your hand under it. All right. Especially on these little tiny pieces. And I should have done the center first and then the outside pieces because it's sticking to my hand. All right, almost done. Then we'll add it to our card. Oh, shoot, I forgot to do my sentiment on here beforehand. Why didn't you guys tell me? Oh well, we'll be doing it after it's on the card. We'll see what happens. I may have messed it up. So if you're going to try this, put your sentiment on before you put all these pieces on the back. Be a lot easier. And then when you go to put this on, you got to make sure you put it on correctly so your leaves match up as close as possible. All right, I'm going to pull my card back in. All right. And I found the best way to do this is to put your edge and your bottom, get your bottom lined up and your edge over here, and then press down. All right, let's see if I can get my sentiment. Oh, it's not too bad there. Oh, you bent it? I don't know if you can straighten it out or not, Lynn. You can give it a try. Oh, it messed up a little bit, but you know what? I'll take my green, garden green marker and fill that in. All right, so there's that. And now we need our glitter gems. Oh my gosh, I have used, look at this. I have like hardly any left. This one is the back, so you have to make sure when you do this, bend this piece of plastic and stick your pokey tool underneath or pick it up. Don't try to pull it off because that's what'll happen. And then I'm going to put some little ones. The little ones are the real boogers. So I put that one there, and I need 2 more. I'm going to have to order some more of these. Darn. I didn't think I would like them, but they're pretty. All right. So there's our stepped up version. There's the pumpkin pie, and this one is the rich raspberry and the blackberry bliss. All right, now, but suppose you have a lot of time. Thanks, Linda, and you really want to play. We're going to go this way and really step it up to a wow. All right, first thing we need to do is we have to do our background. Now these pieces are 4 by 5 1/4. They're not the same size as as the front. They're smaller. All right, and I'm going to pull in my rag again to clean this off, because remember, you're using 2 different colors and you don't want to contaminate your rich raspberry. They're very close color-wise, but in real life you can definitely see the difference. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. All right, so I'm going to ink it up with my rich raspberry. I'm going to try to stamp this one a little bit closer to center this time. All right, so I've got that. Close it up so I don't get ink on it. Now I'm going to pull in my blackberry bliss, and I'm going to go around, but I'm going to make sure that that center is really dark. The one I saw, oh my gosh, that was so pretty, these colors. So I'm closing this up this time so I don't make a mess. All right, now let's see. There are my pieces. Let's see if I can do this closer to the center. I think I got it this time. All right. much better, much better, much better. Okay. Now we're going to take, I got to move this because I'll do something in it. All right, we're going to take our circle. Save your pieces you cut out. You can use them on other cards. And again, I'm going to, oh, no, trying to get ahead of myself. It's time to do our sponging. Keep me straight, guys. Keep me straight. Okay. So, nope, that's not it. I got the wrong spot. Well, it's down here somewhere. It's got to be these. There it is. I was off by one. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to stamp my leaves again. No, I'm not, because I did it differently. I did it differently. I had to stop and think and look at that thing really good. Hi, Christine. All right, I'm going to go through and I'm going to sponge on my background. And this is the garden green. That one was sponged with old olive. All right. So I'm going to add my color. And as you can see, I mean, when I lift this up, that green's not going to go through at all onto your one below. And a lot of times I was finding that was happening with the Post-it notes. The ink was going through. All right, I think I got enough that it's going to work. So I'm going to set that up there and take this off. And see, some of it has ripped in some spots. So I just take it easy and gently remove it. And then when I got quite a bit coming up, I can then carefully remove it. And see, the ink's not even coming through. So there's still plenty of use in those. Oh, Christine, I do too. They are a game changer when it comes to sponging a background. It gives it such a soft, soft color. All right, I'm pulling in my circle again, and I'm setting it down, and I'm stuck to my finger. I'm trying to center it as best I can. And then this piece, I'm going to add to the top as close as I can get it and stick that tape down. All right, there. And that's going to be pretty darn close this time. Yes, it did, didn't it, Barb? That's why I did it on this. They weren't popping. All right, let me cut this piece out. And then I did do some work ahead of time for some of the pieces. All right. Just be careful when you take this off, okay? And remember, keep these. I stick them right into my container that I put my circles in, and that way then if I need one, I can go in and go, oh, I got one. I can use that. All right. So I can close this up because I've done everything else now. All right, we're going to put this one on the same way, but before I do, I'm going to take and emboss it with this embossing folder. Now, I know some of you may say, oh, how do I get this to work in my Big Shot? Well, let me tell you, I had the old platform and I never got rid of it. What I did do is I was having, this drove me crazy flipping this thing. I took them off. It's attached by screws. I saved the screws in case I wanted to put them back on. So I saved it. So to do this one, I used the main platform. And then I used tab 2. Sometimes I have to use the main platform another plate, and tab 1. But it depends on the thickness. So play with it and see. And I think this is the one for this one. And I just put it together like this. And I'm going to run it through my machine. And it embosses it. So I didn't buy the new platform, Linda. When I went to convention, people were playing with that thing and it was warping the plates too fast. I said, nope, not me, not me. All right, so we've got this all embossed now, and it's time to add our dimensionals. So I'm going to pull in my dimensionals and I'm going to go around the edge the same way I did with the other one. I think because this is a thicker one. I took the plates off because then I could mix and match them the way I wanted to. A lot of people, when they ordered, they didn't get the old platform. They have the newer one. But then there was another one that people were ordering. Like I didn't order, I had the magnetic platform and that's the one I use. I don't go switching around. I agree, Linda. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And like I said, when I went to convention, there were all of the plates were bowing real quickly. And did you know you can prevent your plates from bowing? I'll show you that trick in a minute. And it does work because the plates I'm using, when I show you the plates that I use to cut and how flat it is, you'll be amazed. Now, because this spot down here is bigger, I'm going to add some pieces here also. All right, now I'm going to pull out my scraps, find some pieces to cut up to use. Oh, there's some regular ones. How did those get in here? All right, here's another one. All right, I think I got enough. All right, I'm going to cut off my ends. See, look at the ink I have all over me. That's why I say I'm going to go get inky, because I do. I get inky all over the place. All right, cut this off. And put those in there and save them. And I'm going to cut this and this. Hopefully this is enough. All right. Put all these pieces up here so I can see where they are. Hey, Jenny. I do too like tricks, Linda, and I love sharing my tricks with people. We all need tricks once in a while. And I found by switching my plates around, like I'm going to show you, it works. And you'll see, because you'll see when I do the one that I use for my magnetic platform, it's flat, and you'll be able to see it's been used a lot. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard to get in here and all right, so I've got my pieces all around the edge, and that gives it enough support that it's not going to collapse on you. And I'm going to take the inside pieces off first this time so that my hand doesn't stick to the pieces on the outside, because that's what was happening the last time. It was sticking to the outside. When I did this card, I thought, how can I step that middle one up to a wow card? And that's when I came up with this idea to take and emboss this piece. See, I'm sticking to the outside. Just for some interest. I'm sticking like crazy. I'm going to go this way with it, and that way it won't stick. Almost. All right, that one's off. Okay, to the sides and the top. All right, come on. Lynn, sometimes, I know you said your tip was bent. Check and make sure there's not stuff on it. I thought mine was bent too, and I had all kinds of stuff stuck to it. Like this one, it's acting up. Well, I got a bunch of stuff stuck to the end of it. You think it's bent, but it's not. And I will tell you, dimensionals react differently too. Sometimes those backs come off really easy, and other times they give me a fit. I don't know if it's an older container I took it from, package I took it from, or what. Okay, I got them all off. All right, now we're gonna take and we're gonna add this, and I kind of did it this way. So I matched up the side and then the bottom and then stuck it down. All right, so there we have it. We're gonna put that on a piece of rich raspberry cardstock. And I'm gonna put this down. I've been playing with the seal. I'm still not sold. I'm still not sold. So I will keep playing and see, but I'm doing everything they tell me to do, and it's still acting up. Of course, I don't know if by now my container has glue all over it. It's great glue. I love it, but it's a mess. Okay, I took and I stamped my leaves and I cut them out ahead of time. And now I'm going to add this to my card base. I'm going to put glue all over it. All right. I'm going to put this one here, and I'm kind of going in a little bit so that it hangs off. This goes up here. All right, like so. And then this one is going to go over here. And I'm going to take my snips and snip this off right there. And this one off right there. Came at it the wrong way. All right, so it's even, and you don't have to snip those off if you don't want to, but I did. All right, then I used the Stitch Rectangle dies, and I used this one because it fit, which is this one right here, and that's the one that fit the sentiment. And I wanted some other interest, so what I decided to do was to take and offset them, because the next bigger one up it was too big. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this, and I'm going to put it on the top like so. And I'm going to take and I'm going to offset it, and what I'm trying to do is, let me put this down straight, is I'm trying to match it up distance wise, so there's the same amount on the side and the top. And then this is going to go on our card with dimensionals. I know, I love my dimensionals. That's why I cut them in half, because oh my gosh, I use so many of them it isn't funny. So I cut them in half so that they go further. All right. There. And one more. There. This one was a long one this morning. Usually I'm done in a half hour. But I just thought these cards were so pretty, and I wanted to use the sunflowers and show you, you don't have to use them with just yellow, or not, yeah, yellow and brown. All right, now when you put this on, make sure you put it on straight. It'll overlap the leaf a little, but that's okay. Then we have to add our glitter dots. Oh, gotta bend it this way. See, if you bend that plastic, what it does is it allows you, it kind of pops the edge up that you can get your pokey tool underneath. And then I need one more. Sometimes the way you bend it too, the back end pops up. So I just take whichever one pops up. All right, one more. And there it is. The stepped up version. Oh, thanks, Linda. I like the leaves snipped off also. But there it is. There's the stepped up wow. So we went from, I will pull in this one, the clean and simple to the stepped up wow. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be yellow and brown. If you want yellow and brown, you can do it. This one was done with pumpkin pie and old olive. So, different look. All right, let me show you your tip. Okay. Now, here's my magnetic platform. I'm going to move these only because I don't want to get dirt on them if my plate is dirty. Here's my magnetic platform. Here's the piece that goes on top. That is flat, and that usually doesn't happen. This is what usually happens, because this is an older one that I have that I didn't do this with. This is usually what happens, only worse. Oh, you like the clean and simple, Kim? That's okay. Something for everybody. But there's the magnetic platform. And this one is a fairly newer piece on top, because the piece on the bottom just got so bad that I had to switch it. So I took my piece that was on top, put it here, and put a brand new one on top. And they're flat. They're flat. And I mean, I'm not pushing on it. To get it to stay flat, what you want to do is, and I'm going to pretend this is my machine. I'm going to put my image I'm going to cut. I'm going to pull this in. So the first time I cut my circle, I put it here. The second time I cut it, I put it here. Flip it around. Put it here and here. Most of the time I stay in the middle or that way. So I do that, and then every couple of times I just flip this around and cut it the other way, and that will keep it flat. And do the same thing with the top. Flip them, flip it over, and it keeps them flat. I know you can heat these in the oven. I've done that, and they never go perfectly flat. But, I mean, you can see this is a well-loved plate. I have used it a lot. And now it's cut up so much, I don't even have to flip it, because there's so many cut marks in it, it's going to keep it flat. I would flip it, both sides, and cut on it, and go from there. So that's how you keep it flat. So, lots of tips for you today, ladies. All right, let me pull these back in. I got to fix that. That's driving me crazy. All right. I really like these colors. I don't know about you guys. So, all right, let me turn you around so we can finish up. Oh, you're quite welcome, Linda. Get that in my holder. All right. I'm going to get my tea. I need a drink. Been talking too much. So what do you think? This one was a little bit more involved card-wise than some of the others I have done. But I love taking a simple card and stepping it up and going to the wow. And I'm like Kim, sometimes I like the stepped up version. Oh, thank you. And sometimes I like the wow version. It just depends on what you need your card for. See, this to me, I would send to somebody who's card worthy. That's a person who's going to put this card on their mantle or refrigerator and display it. Thank you. This one would be somebody that might be a little special, but this one is maybe somebody you don't know that may not be a card person. They're going to open it up, look at it, and pitch it. And that's how I look at it. My people have to be card worthy to get a card from me because I spend some time on those. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the colors. Like I said, there are some gorgeous red ones. So you could do this same card with Real Red and Cherry Cobbler or Real Red and Mary Merlot and get the same effect. So lots of ideas out there. You could even do this with a crushed curry center, stamp it in crushed curry, and then go back with your sponge dauber and add red around here, red or cherry cobbler, to get the two-tone look. Lots of ideas to do with them. Oh, I love that phrase too, Lynn. I use that all the time. And I just, you know, when I teach my workshops, people will say, who do I send this to? I said, well, look, ladies, they have to be card worthy. Think about the amount of time you put into it. If there's somebody who's just going to pitch that card, buy a card, a 99-cent card, and send it to them. If they're going to hold on to that card, you send that card to them. So they laugh at me. But card worthy it's true. People have to be card worthy and all. So, all right, well, let's see. What time is it? Ooh, almost 11:30. I'm going to get ready and get off of here because I need to get to the grocery store before I run out of time and not have any time to play because I want to play. So I was wrong Thursday night. I am here next week. It's the week after I'm leaving. So I will be here Monday, Thursday, and Saturday of next week. So see me Monday and Thursday in the group and Saturday on the page. Have a great weekend, guys. Remember, stay safe. Keep your distance, wash your hands, wear your mask. I want to see you all back here, not sick next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.